Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Order, honorable members. I have a communication to make. This refers to a visiting delegation to Makueni County Assembly. The delegation comprises of Makueni County Kenyatta University Students Association, Makusa. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence of a delegation of Makueni County Kenyatta University Student Associations, Makusa, seated at the Speaker's Gallery. Makusa is an organization representing students from Makueni County at the Kenyatta University. They are here, among others, to learn and foster collaboration with the County Assembly. Honorable members, I will recognize the delegation by name. They may stand when called upon by the Speaker and take a bow as a show of respect to the place of the sovereignty of the people of Makueni. 1, Grace Kilatia, Chairperson. Benedict Kyoko, Vice Chairperson. Dennis Mumo, Secretary General. Griffins Mwongela, Vice Secretary General. Benson Mwongela, Organizing Secretary. Michael Mwau, Treasurer. Grace Musioka, Gender Secretary. Gladys Zelani, Welfare Secretary. Martin Mutua, Trustee. Kimeu Mutinda, Member. Kalpat, where? Spare my tongue. Kalpritri, that one. Mwema, for their representative. Muli Ben, third year representative. Lilian Chumwa, second year representative. Mary Mweni, first year representative. Mambo Felix, delegate School of Business, and Bashiz Mwendo, Emeritus Chairperson. On behalf of the County Assembly of Makueni, I wish the delegation a fruitful visit during this excursion tour. Thank you. Former Kenyatta University students, if any. And you tell us which class you are and the hostel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you have put it rightly. I'm a former student, Kenyatta University, year 1990 to 1995. Actually, I left Kenyatta University on 13th March. 17th March, 1995. And I can remember very well, I graduated on 19th October, the same year, Mr. Speaker. Somebody who is asking what I was doing at Kenyatta University, and I would be happy to say that I was a BEd student, English literature. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to welcome the students, the student leaders, and say that we are very, very grateful. Come and learn with us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mwanzia, member for Nzabani Vingon Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would wish from the onset to welcome the Kenyatta University students who are members and leaders of KUSA, which is the Kenyatta University Students Association. Mr. Speaker, I was a former student of that university from 2001. Our intake was 2001, September thereof. When there for 4 years, I was a student of Major of Commerce and specialized in accounting. And Mr. Speaker, I started by staying in Nyayo houses. They know where they are. Karibu na KM. Then when I was in third year and fourth year, I was in Fumbiro houses. You know where they are. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I would wish to ask them, because they are leaders at their own capacity, Mr. Speaker, In as much as we are leaders in this house, they are also leaders from the other side. And therefore, our responsibility, Mr. Speaker, the society or even the community expects a lot from us. This is one of the levels of the government which makes policies and enactments, as well as the Senate and National Parliament. And this is the place where we shape this country, or this county for that matter. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, owing to the fact that I know they know what we do here, they just want to see and to have that first-hand experience. But Mr. Speaker, I would want to challenge them that they have a responsibility once they get back to the community to ensure that youths are registered as voters, so that come next year, 2027, Mr. Speaker, we all can put the right people in offices, right from the member of county assembly to the president. And Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt, even speaking from this platform, that the current president, William Samoei Ruto, is going to be a one-term president. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, further to my communications, I wish to recognize two students from United States International University. That's one, Lovin Moki, and Laureen Moki. They are here on an educational tour to visit the county assembly. If you are a mother to those students, then can you behave now? Can you behave like an elected member, not like a mother? Who is it? Honorable Fiametta Dunda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me start by welcoming the students from Kenyatta University. Apparently, my husband was a student in Kenyatta University, so I also have roots there.
Oh, you used to
Of course,
visit?
yes. Of course, yes.
Okay.
But that's a story for another day, Honorable Speaker. And there are two beautiful girls in the gallery. Two happens to be my daughters. One has just cleared a degree in software engineering, and the other one is a first year. So they have come to see what their mother does when not cooking for them. So I welcome them too. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Elizabeth Mutindi, by any chance, could your son be up there?
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. My son is not that age yet, but I pray that he will end up in one of the universities we have. But I am an alumnus of the Kenyatta University, trained teacher by profession. Honorable Speaker, I studied Bachelor's of Education in German literature. So, Honorable Speaker, my dreams were big. I had dreamt to be somewhere in Germany right now, around now, if you would ask me when I was there. But God's plans were different, and now I serve as a member of the County Assembly in my second term. However, Honorable Speaker, I also taught and used the skills that I got from the great Kenyatta University in a school called Mboni Girls for close to 7 years before I got to this assembly. And I want to wish the students of Kenyatta University well as they live and study towards achieving their goals. I wish them the best. That is a good university, and so many graduates are big people in this country, including people like Governor Wanga, the spokesperson of the Isaac Mwaura. We used to see them there. So I wish them the best. I also want to wish the two beautiful girls from USIU the best and encourage them to do better than mom, so they will sit in the higher assembly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mutindi, you are out of order. We do not have mothers in this house. We have honorable members. So ask them to do better than a specific member of this house. You may wish to correct that statement.
Pardon, I beg to withdraw the statement that they should do better than ma'am and replace ma'am with Honorable Fiametta Ndunda, who is a general of WIPA and a teacher and a member of this county assembly that is very committed. Thank you.
Very well. Member from Vindini, you are the last one.
Indeed, I was not a student of Kenyatta University, neither USIU. But, Honorable Speaker, USIU was my university of choice. When we did the election last time, and we were campaigning for the speaker, I had a candidate who had promised to take me to USIU for masters. Honorable Speaker, if all wishes were horses, even beggars would ride. And he also welcomed the students from another university. I learned that the student, the leader, the chairperson, Grace Kilatia, that name sounds familiar. She is from my ward, and I'm excited to learn that she's the one who is leading the team today. Welcome and learn much, and let this visit ignite your passion for leadership. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
There being no messages, next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Corporate Development to present a response to public petition presented on 9th of March by the Speaker of the County Assembly on behalf of residents of Muvauke Kumini Ward regarding relocation of Mango Aggregation Center from ATC, Kwakavukatu Water Town.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the committee on receipt of the petition by residents of Muvauke Kumini Ward regarding relocation of a cold aggregation center, that's for Mango, from Kwakavukatu to Water Town on the 7th March 2026. The committee did a letter, or rather letters to the executive committee member and petitioners on the 10th and 23rd March 2026 respectively. The executive committee member responded on 2nd April 2026, and the committee had planned sittings on the 13th and 20th April 2026 to ventilate on the response, but unfortunately did not meet. The committee did not meet. We did not meet on the same date because there were other engagements that caused quorum each. So the petitioners were entered on, I don't know what this is. So the petitioners were to sit again with the committee on the 30th March, but the committee was engaged on official function. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the committee has written a letter today inviting the lead petitioners to the Assembly on Monday, 27th April 2026 at 9 a.m., the usual time the committee sits to consider the ECM's response. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, we request as a committee to avail the response on Tuesday, 28th April 2026 at 2:30 p.m.
Chairperson endeavor to do so on Tuesday next week at 2:30. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Chairperson, Committee on Environment and Climate Change to lay a paper, followed by Chairperson, Committee on Environment again to lay a paper on Makueni County Forest Management, a landscape restoration bill. Chairperson, Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration to lay a paper on consultation of Makueni County Alcoholic Drinks and Alcohol Bill. The Chairperson, Committee on Finance and Socioeconomic Plan to lay a paper on Makueni County Equitable Development Bill. In that order. Chairperson, Committee on Environment, you have 2 papers to lay. Chairperson, Committee on Environment.
Honorable Speaker, I request you give me a few minutes. I consult with the table office kindly.
You have 2 papers to lay. Consult very quickly. Chairperson, Committee on Devolution.
Honorable Speaker, the bill is ready and is awaiting committee adoption by tomorrow, so we can lay it tomorrow at 2:30.
Tomorrow at 2:30, it's all directed.
Yeah.
Person, Committee on Finance and Socioeconomic Planning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to withdraw that bill because for the reasons that we all know, that we have not yet
Order,
concluded.
honorable member. You can't stand on the floor and state that you wish to withdraw. There is a procedure of a withdrawal of a bill, and it must be justifiable to members, and you must lay a paper to that effect.
Thank
So,
you.
in short, just say
Yes.
your assignment is not ready, and you are sitting for a retake or a receipt of that paper to submit at a later date.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your guidance. I seek to request that you allow us to have some small consultations on this bill. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
So I'll give you another opportunity,
Yes,
which is popularly known as a supplementary paper.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr.
Supplementary examination is given after you fail the first one in
Thank you.
university. Then you are told to receipt.
Obliged, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes. Ensure you will pass. Next order. Before next order, Chairperson, Committee on Environment. Honorable Fiametta. Honorable, yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Jonathan was to lay the paper, but he had stepped out. So, Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Assembly. The report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on consideration of the Makueni Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025. And 2, the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on consideration of the Makueni County Forest Management and Landscape Restoration Bill 2025, I lay.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
There being no notices of motion, proceed to the next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Chairperson, Committee on Health Affairs to respond to statement as requested on 29th of July 2025 by member from Lale Mali Ward regarding delayed completion of staff quarters and Wanyani dispensary and equipping of Mali level 4. Hospital. Did you get, I gave directions yesterday, did you get the supplementary question from the member from Lale Mali? Chairperson, Committee on Health. Who is it? Who is standing in for member, for the Committee on Health?
Yeah, I am not sure where he is. I think it's on show. Sorry? Oh, yeah, but I can see the documents here.
Honorable Matazo, have you received a supplementary? Have you received a supplementary
Mr.
question
Speaker,
as directed earlier?
I was not, I've not received and I was not given anything about this. Dennis, I think Honorable Dennis has the report.
We discussed this matter yesterday. Order, Member Fukakwe. I'm sure you are behind us. We discussed this matter yesterday. The requester of the statement was to furnish the committee with a supplementary question, correct? Which was to be considered by the committee. have you received a supplementary question from member for Mulale Mali Ward?
No, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, Clerk, I direct that the member for Mulale Mali has up to tomorrow to communicate to the committee to respond on Tuesday next week at 2:30. Failure to which the statement will be deemed to have been satisfactorily answered. Chairperson, Committee on Public Participation, Devolution, County Administration Special Program to respond to statement as requested on 27th of August by member for Kakowaya Ward regarding Aina menace in Tulimani Ward.
Honorable Speaker, that statement is ready and we are planning to discuss it as a committee tomorrow. I think the member is, the requester is a member of the committee, so you can deal with it when we come in the assembly. We are done. Thank you. So
Tomorrow at 2:30?
Yeah, 2:30.
Next order.
Order number 8, Committee of the Whole Assembly. Consideration of the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025.
Honorable members, in the interest of the students, we have processed some business in this house this afternoon. And the first business, the business of this house is contained in a document called an order paper. An order paper is a paper that has a sequence of items or agenda items to be deliberated, and one being a communication from the chair, messages from governor, if any, petitions by members of public, if any, papers. These are reports of the committee to be laid before the House Assembly and referred to the respective committees. Notices of motion, if any, statements. This is where we have questions and answers. A member of a county assembly is entitled to asking questions, refer to the respective committee. The respective committee engages the county executive and files a report with his house. And now we are under order number 8, 9, and 10, which are motions for consideration by the House. And we are now proceeding with the business on a bill. And the bill has been read for the second time. We are now in the second reading. And during the second reading, then the House dissolves into the committee of the whole House to consider the bill clause by clause. Honorable members, I now direct that the House dissolves the plenary into the Committee of the Whole Assembly to consider the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, which is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of this year, 2025. Honorable Deputy Speaker, you take over.
Honorable members, we are now in the Committee of the Whole Assembly to consider the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025. That is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025.
Clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 40, 41, 42, 40, 41, 42, and 40.
Any member willing to?
And 40.
Any member willing to contribute? Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 3, members, I now put the question that clause 3, 5, 26, 27, 28, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43, the ayes have it. Clerk.
Clause 2.
I now propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Any member willing to contribute? I now put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk.
The title.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the title be part of the bill. Any member willing to contribute? I now put the question that the title be part of the bill. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk.
Clause 1.
I now propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Any member willing to contribute? Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. I now call upon the Chairperson Committee on Environment and Climate Change to report to the Assembly.
I beg to move the following motion, that this committee do now report to the Assembly on its deliberations on the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, that is Makueni County Bill number 10 of 2025, and is approval thereof without amendments.
I now propose the question that this committee do now report to the Assembly on its deliberation on the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, that is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, and its approval thereof without amendment. I now put the question that this committee do now report to the Assembly on its deliberation on the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, that is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, and its approval thereof without amendments. Will as many of these opinions say aye? And will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. We are now through with the Committee of the Whole as House.
Honorable members, I now call upon the chairperson of the Committee of the Whole House to report the progress.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole Assembly has considered the Makueni County Assembly Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, that is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, and has approved the same without amendments. Thank you.
Mover of the motion, you have anything to say?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the motion that this assembly do agree with the committee of the whole house, the whole assembly in the said report. Thank you.
Who is the second of your motion?
I call upon Honorable Mutie to second the motion.
Mr. Speaker, I do second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Assembly do agree with the Committee of the whole Assembly on the said report. The floor is open for debate. There being no member willing to contribute, I call upon the mover of the motion to respond to the motion.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, that is Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, be now read at that time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I call upon Honorable Mutie to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do second.
Honorable members, I now put the question for vote. That this assembly do agree with the committee of the whole assembly in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9. The Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. Order for third reading.
Mover of the motion.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I was again beg to move the following motion that the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill 2025, Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025 be now read at that time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I call upon Honorable Mutie to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do second. Thank you.
I now propose the question for debate for the third reading that the Makueni County Assembly, the Makueni County Sustainable Solid Waste Management Bill of the year 2005, which is the Makueni County Assembly Bill number 10 of the year 2005, be now read a third time. The floor is open for debate for the bill to be read a third time. Third reading. Member for Mbitini Ward.
Honorable Speaker, I support this bill to be read the third time. Honorable Speaker, I've gone through it and I've seen how it will help our people. Also, those who dispose waste products and they don't care where they dispose them, and even those who allow their either cows and dogs in this bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Teacher Elizabeth Mutindi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to commend the committee overemphasize the importance of managing waste. The other day we saw what happened in Nairobi when there were floods, Honorable Speaker. One of the major reasons why the tunnels and drainages were blocked is because of mismanagement of solid waste, Honorable Speaker. As a county, we do not want to get there, so bill, and it's going, a clean city will also attract, and our clean towns will also attract investors, Honorable Speaker. So we want to pray able to keep our county clean and manage waste as we should, for the health, also for health of our people. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Jonathan Kimongo, student of OSU University.
Honorable Speaker, that is water under the bridge, unless we have a repeat in 2027. Now that I support this motion, and from the onset, I state that I'm a member of this committee. But I am happy that we labored to bring this piece of legislation before the House. And as my colleague member, Honorable Mutindi, has said, solid waste is a very critical element of our environment to ensure that we deal with it. But, Honorable Speaker, one of the very critical need to work around by its own is the disposal of this cheap liquor packaging. It has become a menace that everywhere you walk, even in the villages, there are these small bottles that are littered everywhere. And we need an approach that will ensure that this that there be a way of disposing these bottles.
Of 2025 for third reading. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as the ayes have it. I now direct the clerk to execute the reading.
Waste Management Bill 2025. A bill for an act of the County Assembly of Makueni County to implement the devolved function of waste management to ensure the realization of the sustainable management of solid waste in the county and for connected purposes. Third reading.
Honorable members, I direct that, so clerk facilitate that too, that a copy of the bill as approved by the County Assembly be supplied to the visiting students from the OSU University back to the university report on their visit to Makueni County Assembly and for future reference when they meet with their colleague comrades. Next order.
Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs on the annual report of the Makueni County Public Service Board on the execution of the functions of the board, January to December 2024. Resumption of debates.
Honorable members, as you may recall, yesterday there's a motion that was cut short by share of time. And the motion was by Honorable Tivo, seconded by Honorable Jonathan Mwaniki. The motion was supported by Honorable Kalunda. Honorable Francis Mwania supported the bill. Honorable and time lapsed at 15:00 hours. Resumption of debate. I had a number of members who had queued to contribute to this bill yesterday's Mutindi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Reference is made to the bill yesterday, or to the motion yesterday, where the discussion was killed to a certain which have been given out. And you find that apart from a few words who are actually isolated, there is somehow imbalance which seems to have been struck. And they show like some areas along Mombasa Road are not being favored. That becomes a political gimmick to paint the gap of the information that. Despite the fact that the devolution came in when nobody was prepared for the devolution, there were so many caps in the devolution setup, and it's available by then. And because these positions had to be filled, that's why you find the discrepancy was arising.
Now that devolution has settled and become of age, the aspect of the areas which seem to have been left out. And when you look at the data of 2022, you find that the wards who are having less than 10 employees, they are less than 5. In this balance of equity is very important, and we should support equity, and especially where talents are available. But there are some other occasions when talents are not there, and we cannot, because we want to strike a balance of employment across the hemisphere of Makueni County. So in this context, Mr. Speaker, let's not hold or paint an image as members of this county assembly that is like we. One of the keywords which was mentioned in Zakika, which had 26 people. And when I went through the details of how this came into being, most of the positions which had been advertised by then, even people never applied. Majority of the people who applied count at the time of devolution, which was a new phenomenon in this particular count, that had to be done. But now the issue is being addressed amicably by the current count public service. Them ample time so that we can be able to correct the anomalies, and as a county government of Makueni, we move in the same direction. Mr. Speaker, thank you. I rest my case.
Very well. Honorable Elizabeth Mutini.
I also wanted to reiterate what the honorable member who has just left the floor has said. It was being alluded that some regions have gotten more, have more employees than others, but Honorable Speaker, if you take an average, it is more or less the same number of people. It can't be equal number of people across all wards, Honorable Speaker, but there is some sort of balance, Honorable Speaker. So I think the board has really tried, and I'm sure even with time, there will, more balance will be seen, Honorable Speaker. What we need to do is to encourage our people to keep applying, because as long as they qualify, I don't think anyone is out to deny somebody, a candidate who is qualified, a job, Honorable Speaker. Something was raised, Honorable Speaker, yesterday that was of concern, Honorable Speaker, and got me worried. Somebody said, Honorable Speaker, that the person representing their region in the board was always busy and was not seeming to pick the candidates from that region, Honorable Speaker. I was wondering, are these people placed there to pick people from their area? In fact, we expect them to be very impartial when it comes to choosing, and you don't even consider where somebody comes from first. But Honorable Speaker, I'm not interested in the information from the DS. Because, Honorable Speaker.
Allow her to conclude. I'll give you an opportunity to share your piece.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think he's probably the member who raised that concern. Honorable Speaker, we don't expect, because somebody comes from my place, Mboni, to pick only Mboni people. We expect them to consider all candidates that are qualified and balance all regions, Honorable Speaker. So whether somebody was an absentee or not, it should not rise from, we should not see the data reflecting that that region missed out on opportunities because their member was an absentee. Then that would be very bad, Honorable Speaker. I wish to commend the current board, and I have confidence in it. I saw yesterday they already presented a 100 days report in office, Honorable Speaker. So I think we are doing very well and we are growing every day. So I want to support this motion and urge members that we keep supporting equity as well as we support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member from Titwande Ward, Honorable Francis Mwanya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's me who raised that concern yesterday, and it should be very clear that, and again, I cannot understand how the honorable member, who is a nominated member from Kakowaiya, when I looked at the data, in 2022, the number of employees from Kakowaiya, from Titwande, even Kibwezi East, and we said that yesterday, there is a big margin, 6 against 2. You mean Kakoa are better students who have gone to school than Titwande or Kibwezi East? coming from, and the members who are active in that county public service board, we know where they were coming from. So we cannot lie. She said we need a balance. Can you balance 11 with 2? We need to debate further, but next time we are looking at how men will be recruited. Our young people need to be employed by the county. We cannot be lying. The statistics are very clear. You cannot lie with figures, but you can lie to the public, not us. Thank you.
That this is coming out and very amicably coming out. Mr. Speaker, even now as out and very amicably coming out. Mr. Speaker, even now as we are talking, we have seen the advertisement of several positions in this particular count. They go into the public domain. People, Speaker, you know very well, even from this county assembly where we are sitting. Now, the honorable member should be very honest to one another, and should be very honest. It should not be actually economical with the truth, that there were no people who could fill them. Now, as a result of this, you can see the graph was being skilled towards the people who understood and who had the talent available by that time. But now that balance cutting across. Look at this county assembly. Most of the people who were employed in this particular county assembly are the ones who knew, and they're the ones who are coming from the areas where the people about whatever is happening here. We have some areas which do not have even employees who are actually working in this particular county assembly. Why? Because we never used to have that information disseminated to the people at the lower level. Now that we are at pan cutting across has been shared and is well actually understood. By then, there was nobody. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member from Avendin.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow that I also inform the DS that staff establishment in the county. We all know that during the first tenure, with the first 5 years of devolution, we have some areas that got quite a colossal amount of employees at the expense of Assembly. Honorable Speaker, I can dare say, one day we need to do that. This kind of a staff distribution list, and you will be surprised. So we cannot say we are way too ahead and others way too behind. So Honorable DS, please, even if you got 0, you should relax. You are a lot of workers from your place in the first and second dispensation.
On a point of order. Thank you.
What is your point of order,
Yes,
member
Mr.
from
Speaker.
Zabani?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Member for Ilima and member for Mavindini, Mr. Speaker, to stand in this floor and mislead listeners and the public, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is within the public knowledge, and I agree and I stand with my colleague, Honorable Francis Molo, that there has been unprofessional practices at the Public Service Board. Mr. Speaker, way from 2013 when devolution took place. And Mr. Speaker, we had a report in this house of the human counts, both for the Assembly, Mr. Speaker. And the ratio, Mr. Speaker, is so surprising. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, the call that we are asking the current Public Service Board going forward is to ensure that, one, they are guided by the current human resource counts, so that they can also consider areas where human resource has not been harvested or utilized, Mr. Speaker. Including, Mr. Speaker, we have the data that shows, and I will keep wasting other words, Mr. Speaker, or constituencies. It's surprising. But, Mr. Speaker, we are not edging to the previous reports. We are asking the current Public Service and even the County Assembly Service Board, going forward, Mr. Speaker, they should be guided. I think I need to be gotten right, Mr. Speaker, that going forward, they should resource count that is currently and focus on areas, because we have students who are learned, Mr. Speaker, and they are qualified and they can work in those positions that they are advertised. Thank you.
Now, honorable honorable members. Order. Just order. Order. Honorable members, your debate is not based on a reference. Now we are referring to a report as submitted to this Devolution Public Service. Now you have made statements outside the report, but you are not quoting reference according to. Take note, we have students from Kenyatta University and USU. Just a minute. Now, you know, information in public domain is what is used at a public podium, that everyone knows. But because we are in assembly, you should quote the source. Now, you are persuading me to direct for presentation of the figures of each ward, cumulative, from 2013. You have also, Member von Zambani, hold on, you have referred to a human resource audit report. Which is that? Yes, there you are.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the second assembly, which I was a member, should have been 2021, Mr. Speaker, the same committee on devolution, Mr. Speaker, you yourself seated on that chair, you directed them to have a report from the Public Service Board then to have the executive head count as far as the wards are concerned, Mr. Speaker. And yes, it was tabled. It's a document that is
very well
for public consumption
very
in this
well.
assembly. Thank
very
you.
well. You are making it richer. All your horses, you are the next. Honorable Mwoki. What is the point of order? If it is not a point of order, Honorable Mwoki was on the floor. Now, for purposes of order, Honorable Mwoki is on the floor. Because you have information, you will come after. Honorable Mwoki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of the Committee on Devolution, Mr. Speaker, which is sponsoring this report, Mr. Speaker. It developed the report, Mr. Speaker. And as you said, it was moved by Honorable Tivu, and I seconded, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my information is, Mr. Speaker, this committee has brought a report. We have a report, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to request honorable members, when they are debating, Mr. Speaker, because the committee made observations and the recommendation, Mr. Speaker. When they say they support the report, Mr. Speaker, and they are not, the argument is not based on the observation and the recommendation of the committee. Maybe, Mr. Speaker, we did something wrong. They need it to be considered together with the report, Mr. Speaker, whether the report qualifies to be approved or disapproved, Mr. Speaker. So I think based on the observation and recommendation of the committee, Mr. Speaker, the argument which is being raised by honorable members, Mr. Speaker, it should not arise, because there are recommendations which are guiding the honorable members on how to debate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member from Titwande.
Thank you. I also wish to concur with Honorable Mwaniki, and I also wanted to refer the Jonathan from Nilim and the Jonathan from Avindini on recommendation number 2, which I wish also to read so that they understand what I'm saying, and they thought I was doing politics, but not really. I want recommendation number 2, which is with everybody here. In future recruitment, the County Public Service Board should endeavor to allocate equal number of candidates per ward where the position permits. Further, it should strive to develop clear guidelines on how it will address the reason for many candidates from various wards not making application for available positions, and provide a report on the guidelines to the County Assembly within 60 days. So we are waiting for that. Thank you.
Honorable members, as you debate, there is a recommendation to that effect. As Honorable Maniki has advised, it's in order that you be guided by the content of the report and its recommendation, or questioning the recommendations and observations as they are. Member for Care Ward.
Speaker, I was on the queue yesterday, and I was aiming to support the motion. And from the tabulations, I wanted to congratulate the committee for the great job that they have done. Say that there is always room for improvement. We had the past service board, and we have the current one. And I hope it is the high time now we see equity and see improvement. It is also right to be noted that there are things that guide the distribution of farriers. Issue of converting the ECDC teachers to PNP, and with different schools, number of schools in different wards, and to get equal number of employees, that can dictate otherwise. So I'm saying that the other issue that we should be very keen as an assembly to note is that 10 employees in the level of watchmen and another ward to get 2 employees is very senior lobby for other positions. What we need to have in the next report is the levels, the cadre of the employees that we have. Because we might say that Zakika had 26 and another ward, which, and so, Mr. Speaker, because we are on the right detailed information of the positions and the number of positions that each ward gets. So I think supporting this, I went to more details and I got the average of the 3 years. And the average is 14.23, the number of each ward which each ward should have benefited in these vacancies. So it was not badly off. So we need and balanced share in this issue of employment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, but I support.
Member for Kakwaya, honorable members.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support the motion. However, Honorable Speaker, the reason why I've stood is just to ask you if we can proceed with the other motions before us, Honorable Speaker, because Operation Committee, Honorable Speaker.
Leader of the majority party.
Honorable Speaker, I stand to support this motion. Honorable Speaker, before I support, I want to welcome the unionists, Kenyatta University students to the assembly. I want to encourage them, and of course, the people will take over from us when we age. I still remember, although I didn't school at Kenyatta University, I used to visit a place called KM. So, Honorable Speaker, as I support this motion, I want to outline 2 things. One, this report actually gives the youth 56%. I mean, the recruitment was 56% youth, which is very encouraging because our young people actually need the jobs. And 2, the female who were recruited within that period were 103 out of 181, which I think is also quite encouraging because our female have been discriminated in many cases. Honorable Speaker, please inform the members to consult in low tones. Honorable Speaker, my problem with this that particular period is now the PWDs, because they recruited only 3 out of 181. Honorable Speaker, I didn't manage to go to my calculator, but I want to inform the House that we have a law which is very active called the People with Disabilities Act of 2025. Honorable Speaker, that law stipulates that any recruitment in the counties should have about 5% of people with disabilities. And Honorable Speaker, if you calculate the 3 out of 181, that comes to around 0.15% living with disabilities in this country. And Honorable Speaker, I think going forward, the board should be advised to desist from these kind of discrimination, Honorable Speaker. And as one of the PWDs in this country, we shall not allow this to happen because we deserve our 5% and we deserve it rightfully. And the Constitution is very clear on that. So, Honorable Speaker, I'll be waiting. The Public Service Board with us, and they gave us a 100 days in office report. And Honorable Speaker, I'll be waiting for the Committee on Devolution to bring out that report with better and robust recommendations as discussed yesterday, which of course will outline the gaps as discussed with the board so that we may close on those gaps and so that we may give the people with disabilities equal opportunities to serve this county. Honorable Speaker, although I don't want to raise the temperatures, which I saw with the equity in recruitment across the county, Honorable Speaker, I'm very sincere. I would wish that what you just said, that we do a staff audit, a very serious staff audit from 2013 to date, and analyze how these things have been distributed. Fair and quite unfair that some wards, like my ward, Kithungo Kitundu, is not even represented in this assembly. If my person, so generally we need to do an audit, and probably we may need to stop some wards from providing staff for the next 1 year, 1 or 2 years. You are not, Honorable Speaker, I need your protection.
Order, honorable members, allow the leader of the majority to...
That's my opinion. Because, Honorable Speaker, I used to work with this county, and I know how my ward, Kaiti and Boni, how they have been discriminated. And, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the data, Honorable Speaker, this is my sincere opinion. We can't go on like this. We need to equalize and give our people equal opportunities, either from Mutitwandei. Everybody in this county should feel at home. Our youth who are now being recruited to the service should feel that they have equal opportunities to serve this county. And because people are retiring, when we are giving our youth those opportunities, we should consider equity in the wards. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Or is it? Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would have supported this motion had it not been brought to my attention about recommendation number 2 that talks about what exactly Honorable Gisungi is talking about. The spirit of this recommendation is about...
What's the point of order, Honorable Elizabeth?
What is it?
A point of order takes precedence over contribution.
Honorable Speaker.
What is not in order?
The member is completely out of order because
Why?
He already supported the motion. He already contributed in support of the motion.
You were not out of order, but now you are out of order. Because I have not granted you an opportunity to speak, and you are speaking from gallery. So, Honorable Elizabeth Mutindi, a record in my possessions indicates that Honorable Kimongo rose on a point of information. Throughout this debate, he was not in support, he gave information. So proceed with your contribution. Proceed.
Reminding this good teacher from Bonny Girls. Now, Honorable Speaker, I was saying that I want to oppose this motion, and I will oppose this motion on only 2 points. One, the spirit of the second recommendation is about equality. If we have to save this county, and if we have to do good to this county, in terms of staff establishment, we don't need equality at this point in time. We need equity. Because already we have some wards, as we had debated earlier, who are left behind, and others who are way too high. So if now we begin to say, let us have equal, it will mean those wards that were behind will continue to be behind in terms of numbers. And those wards which were ahead will continue to be ahead in terms of numbers. Number two, Honorable Speaker, you will tell me, in a situation whereby one ward, like now we have adverts for ECMs and COs, you tell me where the rationale is when one ward gets a ECM and a few, and two, like two COs and some directors, and then the next day there is an advert for drivers. And you want to tell me, now let us be equal when there's a ward here that got 0 CO and 0 director and 0 ECM, and there's another one that got 2 and another and two COs, and now you want us to be equal. It can't happen. We must espouse a spirit of equity if we have to do good. So on this matter, I would not agree that right now we now begin to be equal. We can't be equal now. We have to espouse equity. Number two, Honorable Speaker, why I oppose the report. In the report, there is mention of PWD. And as the law states, there has to be 5% of every recruitment going to PWDs. There's also another issue that has been coming for audit every other year about the recruitment from non-dominant ethnic communities. We are getting an audit query on the PWD issue. And the report highlights this, but the recommendation does not anywhere mention about the same. We should have seen a recommendation about PWD, a recommendation about the predominant ethnic communities, and I mean, Speaker, with these two issues, as much as I like the report, I will just have to pause. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll draw recommendation number 1. There should be appointment. The County Public Service Board shall consider the need to ensure that at least 30% of the vacant spots at entry level are filled by candidates who are not from the dominant ethnic. Mr. Speaker, when we are talking about this, the proceed, Mr. Speaker, to show that the County Public Service Board is supposed to be guided by the laws, Mr. Speaker. And those are the issues that are being raised by Honorable Kimongo, Mr. Speaker. When we follow the law strictly, Mr. Speaker, we shall have the PWDs, we shall have gender equity, all those, Mr. Speaker. What the committee is trying to say is that let
move off the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate members for their comments and their inputs in this motion. For those who supported, I want to thank them. For those who opposed, it's their opinion, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I want to inform this House and Honorable Majority Leader that he has argued on the PW, people living with disability. I want to inform him as at now, we stand at 3%, and the law dictates that we must be at 5%. And I think that new County Public Service Board is working on it. Honorable Speaker, I want to draw members' attention on the recommendations where there is the ward balance. Honorable Speaker, I want to take members back to the schedule that was attached in this report that showed for the last 3 years, Honorable Speaker. And I only want to compare where we came, why we came up with such recommendations, so that in future we will not see such happenings. And on other years, as compared to the year 2022, a ward like Nzakika, Honorable Speaker, had 12 slots in that staff, and compared to Ngumo, that had 1, Honorable Speaker. In 2020, per ward. In 2023, the highest number was 6. That was the ward water, compared to Ngumo. Zakika had 4. The year 2024, the highest number was 10, and that ward was Zakika, compared to a ward that had the lowest had 3, that is Kimakiu, and others like also in 2024. That shows the other years, the previous years, there was no fairness. But compared to the 2024, there was a bit fairness on Chica. That ask members to support this report with the recommendations as they are recommended by the committee, and also the new County Public Service show us fairness. And as the Honorable Kimongo says, try to balance the wards that have not been, has not been favored by the former. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I ask members to support this report. Thank you.
Honorable members, I put the question for vote that this assembly of the report of the Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration, and Special Programs on the from January to December year 2024, the report was laid on the table of the Assembly on 29th of September year 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, you have raised numerous issues and have made the following observations. Chairperson, Committee on Devolution and Public Service, it is important that you demonstrate the basis of the figures so that we don't cure the symptoms, we cure the cause. Because if you manage fever with paracetamol, when the cause of fever is a toothache, you may take paracetamol and painkillers for the rest of your life. So you manage the teeth or the tooth. You have not given us data to show how many were the applicants for that position X or for the positions. Just a minute. The number of applicants shortlisted for that position, so that in Ward X, you had 10 applicants and they were shortlisted and one was picked. Very important. You know, presumably, when a candidate order, the chair is on its feet, and I'm not speaking on my behalf, I'm speaking to the late issues that we've raised. If you've been shortlisted, it means that if you are the only applicant and shortlisted, you're qualified. So there's no reason as to why a shortlisted candidate may not qualify for the position. And another one scores 7% from a ward that has not had candidates, then there is nothing wrong with picking a candidate from Ward X, which had a fewer number, to the extent that they were shortlisted. It is important you bring that data alongside the number of the candidates recruited from that particular ward for comparison, because the intervention could be not recruitment and giving positions, could be the frequency of applications from that ward. Case at point is Kikumbulio North, where Honorable Mbalu was very aggrieved. And I think at some point he decided to campaign in his ward and encourage his people to apply for positions, and there was a variance because many people had trust in the process and they applied for jobs. That could be a reason I'm not that. So next time, please always present that information. Two, Member Fonza requested for the report on the human resource audit. The chairperson of the Public Service Board on the day of vetting, together with the board, wrote a letter committing himself to present an audit report within the next 100 days, which expired yesterday. Chairperson, that report was submitted to you through the office of the clerk. Your committee will consider, and we are expecting nothing short of human resource, no narratives, human resource audit by the board as things were found to be. But Member Fonzabani Vingoni, you have indicated the directions that were given, and human resource audit was conducted, and there is a report to the same. Clerk, I direct that you write to the CS and the County Public Service Board to table the office of the clerk, the human resource audit. This County Assembly indicating the following: one, the status of employment, the senior management officers, directors, and thereabout. There's a supervisory, there is a junior staff and support staff. Otherwise, you may find Ward X as 100 officers who are support staff, when Ward Y has 2 officers and they are directors. So decisions are made elsewhere, and the effect is not even felt. So chairperson, that is very important for you. I hope the clerk has taken note of that, so that then we balance this aspect of human resource. Besides the resources that we debate here for budget-making purposes, human capital and human resources are a critical component because it is that which drives the development in this county. And the issues raised by member for Mutitwande are valid. Now, the unit of administration in a county is a ward. It's not sub-county, neither highway nor hills. So there's no region called mountain, neither a hill called Mangos, nor a region called Mombasa Road under the Constitution. So in this case, let's pick the unit of distribution, of allocation and representation in this house, which is the ward. It is only then you realize there's a ward within Kibwezi West that at 0 recruitment, where the neighboring ward, Makindu, or Ngu for that matter, had more than 20. Otherwise, if you do average, then a ward will disappear from within. So let's get statistics and figures populated not on the best of ward alone, but ward locations and sub-locations, so that you do not have then a recruitment from one village region. It requires the diversity of the regions of Makueni, and then whether you are from this sub-county or the hilly areas, gender and others, and therefore may not be effective or applicable in this. Report be conveyed to the County Public Service Board, to the County Secretary, and to the Governor for implementation. The Chairperson Committee on Devolution, you have within the next 6 days to demand of the Public Service Board to submit to the County Assembly the status of implementation of your recommendations and compliance. Thank you very much. On the issues that I've indicated, you have within 30 days. The Human Resource Audit Report, which is not with you, is with the Executive, and the report that was submitted yesterday by the County Public Service Board as a status report of audit and evaluation of the status of public service in Makueni when the 3rd cycle. Thank you. Next order. What is the point of order?
Thank you for and my reference is made to what Honorable Mutie requested about the issue of the audit. You've only given within our county assembly here. There's also discrepancies. Why not we also have audit of the county assembly here, which also per ward, which also gives us.
You just seek the intentions of the chair and persuade, and first you congratulate the chair and persuade the chair. Thank you.
in the first place, I said thank you for your wisdom.
Very well.
Because you did very well. Yes,
Massage.
So I hereby actually persuade you, Mr. Speaker, sir, given that now that you have reflected and you want to see the issue of equal fingers at the executive, charity begins at home. And we can as well also start from here so that we start correcting the anomalies. We are not saying that people should be sacked. We are saying let us know the status where we are so that as we go forward, we may now start correcting to have some equity of the cake we have on the table. That is my take, and that's what I'm requesting.
Point was raised by a member from Mavindini Ward. I beg to correct you. And it's an important matter. Before then you take a tape measure to take the size of shoe of your colleague, start with yourself. Fairness and equity is executed by the County Assembly. And therefore it behoves us to take the responsibility first. Assembly, the Public Assembly Service Board. Again, you submit a report to the County Assembly through the Committee on Devolution on the distribution of the resources within the County Assembly effective from 2013. Because we are demanding others to do so, we should also do such as well. Thank you very much. Next order. Thank you for appreciating after I extended the persuasion. Next order.
Order number 11, motion.
Honorable members, I'm reminded by the table office that there are two motions here that are time bound. And it's proper that we consider them. That is motion number 19 and 20. One is the report on Budget and Appropriation Committee on financial year 2024-25 budget implementation report. You cannot consider budget for the next financial year if this report has not been considered. Two, report of Committee of Finance and Socio-Economic Planning on the Sub-County Hospital quarterly reports for the financial statement, the period 30th June 2025. This report is required by the Auditor General on the same. And there is a report of budget implementation, again, review report for 2024-2025 by the Office of the Controller of Budget. Honorable members, I persuade that we reorganize the business for, and I seek the lunches of Chairperson Committee on Implementation. Yesterday, we accommodated you, today accommodate us. As Chairperson Youth, Chairperson Water, Chairperson Delegated Legislation, Chairperson Public Accounts Committee. Order number 18. Clerk.
Order number 19. Appropriation Committee on the Makueni County Fiscal Year 2024-2025 Budget Implementation Report.
Chairperson, Budget and Appropriation Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts the report of budget for consideration of Makueni County Financial Year 2024-2025 Annual Budget Implementation Report laid on the table on 19th November 2025. Honorable Speaker, you'll allow me to start in page 6, where we have the background. Honorable Speaker, budget implementation is the most crucial stage within the budget cycle. Since citizens benefit from outputs and outcomes of the county government of interventions through service delivery and implementation of development, projects and programs. The financial year 2024-2025 annual budget implementation report was submitted to the County Assembly pursuant to Article 183 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and Section 166 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. 104.9R provide that one of the responsibilities of the county treasury is to report regularly to the county assembly on the implementation of the annual county budget implementation report for the county treasury as submitted to the county assembly for the consideration. This has been achieved through the rentless appropriations to ensure that the county assembly is regularly informed about the budget implementation. Honorable Speaker, the financial year 24-25 annual budget implementation report provides that the status of implementation of financial year 2024-2025 budget estimates. The period of reporting is 1st July 2024 to 31st June 2025. Notably, the formulation of the financial year 2024-2025 budget estimates was guided by the development philosophy of Waoni Wakwi Kanesa na Ulungalu, the desire to do good with integrity, and rallying call for our people, our priority. The development theme of the financial year in the enhancing efficiency for economic growth and the community resilience. Honorable Speaker, allow me to go to the revenue performance during the financial year 2024-2025 annual budget implementation report. The revenue target for the year the revenue target for the year is, or the year 2024-2025 is 11 billion 580 million 212 379 comprising of the 8 billion 497 million 308 272 receipts from the national government and 1.4 Mr. Speaker, from the account on source revenue. The actual revenue receipts amounts to 10 billion 922,658, which comprises of 8.4 billion equitable share and 182 million conditional allocations, that is the grants, loans and grants, and 1.2 on source revenue, and 1 billion from financial year 2023-2024 fund balances. Those are the reported projects and programs which were moved forward or was brought forward to 2025-2026. Honorable Speaker, you allow me to go to, because most of this part, page 6, is about explaining what I've already going to details. I will not go to details so much, Honorable Speaker, but I will ask you, Honorable Speaker, you allow me to go to the departmental expenditures.
Proceed.
In the third quarter for the 2024-2025 fiscal year, the analysis of expenditure showed that health services recorded the highest expenditure of 2.6 billion, reflecting an absorption rate of 62%, followed by ICT, education and internship with a total of 625 million at 52% absorption rate. Emali Sultan Ahmud municipality had the lowest expenditure of 19 million, which is 26% absorption. Departmental expenditures per economic classification, Honorable Speaker. Health services, supplementary budget 1 at 4.2 billion. Salaries was 1.6. O&M was 387 million, and the recurrence was 2 billion. Development was 616 million, and the total expenditure was 2.6 billion, as we have said. So that one, on that table, we have ICT education, which is 52% on observation rate. County sector, which was 95% when it comes to what the budget they have burned. Financial, social, economic planning was 75%. Governorship was 75%. Infrastructure, transport, 25%. Was 23%. That is very low when it comes to observation rate, Honorable Speaker. And it has been like that, Honorable Speaker, when it comes to infrastructure, roads, public works and housing and energy, Honorable Speakers. This department, it has not been livestock. Fisheries, cooperatives and development was 41%. Water and sanitation was that 2%. Devolution, public participation, account administration and special programs was 54%. And also, I think, Honorable Speaker, the chairs of those particular sectors, they should also question about it. Land, urban planning, development and environment and climate change was 29%. Gender was 34%. Trade and marketing industry was 44%. Then we have Makueni County Fruit Development, 64%. Water Municipality was that 2%. Count Attorney was 2%. Emali Sultan Ahmad was 26%. Total County Executive, that is an average of 53%, Honorable Speaker. County Assembly, we were at 63%. Our total budget on the observation rates, we were at 54%. So you'll find that at the end of the day, we managed to be above 50%, but with some of the departments at least operating below 50%. On and our recommendations, during consideration of Makueni County Financial Year 2024-2025 Annual Budget Implementation Report, the committee meant the following. In procurement and completion of project occasioned by the following. Process period of updating budget and approval by the control of budget. Design and specifications for the various projects. The other, number 3, scheduled projects whose implementation is phased or require implementation on other. First, Honorable Speaker, those are the reasons why we had some delay in procurement. Number 2, department engineers are approving payment due to the poor works. That one, I have a good example, which I usually mention about Kitandi CTTI. The fence was substandard. The administrator said only 30% should be paid, but the department proceeded and paid 100%. Number 3, the Regulation 45.6 of the Public Finance Management, County Government Regulations 2015 provide that the County Treasury shall publish and publicize the quarterly liquidity position reports reflecting the impact of revenue collection efforts, spending, and county public debt operations on the cash position of the county government. 4, there is persistent challenge with the pending bills, which continues to strain the budget and either implementation of new projects. Honorable Speaker, on the pending bills, we have seen a lot of improvement on the strategies which have been employed by the executive to clear the pending bills. I think the last time I mentioned how far we have gone on clearing these pending bills, Honorable Speaker, on the other report. Recommendations, having carefully scrutinized the Makueni County Financial Year 2024-2025 Annual Budget Implementation Report, the committee came up with the following recommendation: that the County Public Service Board should employ adequate staff to assist in designing of BQs, design and for accurate project specification for speedy implementation of project within the stipulated period. Further, the Department of Transport should submit to the County Assembly a status report on the department staff established specifically for the engineers and their qualification. This status report should be submitted on all before 15 December 2025. See that this report was developed in the year 2025. So these are some of the recommendations which we made, and we feel also we should pursue on the same, because you have seen it, where we have public works, that Department of Infrastructure and Roads and the Public Works, they are 23% on absorption rate when others are doing above 50%, Honorable Speaker, and it has been like that. Number two, engineers approving projects which have not been approved by the Project Management Committee and Award and Administration should not be paid, and disciplinary action should be taken on the engineers approving the project for payment. Further, the Department of Devolution and Public Service should consider amending the Makueni County Public Participation Policy to include provision of the approval of the payments by both the PMC and the ward administrators. 3. There is confusion here, but it's okay. Number 3, Honorable Speaker, the County Treasury should always submit the County Assembly quarterly liquidity position reports together with the quarterly budget implementation reports. Then number 4, Honorable Speaker, settle pending bills promptly, establish measures to prevent their accumulation. Further, the County Treasury submits a status report of the payment of pending bills at the end of financial year 2025-2026. Honorable Speaker, we got that report and we have seen a lot of improvement. Honorable Speaker, what I wanted, Infrastructure and Roads, Public Works Department, because they carry a lot of weight when it comes to the Department of Roads and Infrastructure, Public Works are the ones to be consulted, because they are the ones who have engineers and also quantity surveyors and all that, Honorable Speaker. If it is a stadium, consulted to come up with BQs, Honorable Speaker. More, Honorable Speaker, we have seen that there is salary increment on the staff and all that. We are almost going to 50%, which is against also the wage bill, where we are supposed to be at 35% of our total revenue. Honorable Speaker, we need also to strike a balance on this one, and to strike a balance, we need to get the right data so that we can make the right decisions, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, that is the report, the motion which I've moved, the report, and it has touched each and every observation, and we have done a recommendation therewith. Therefore, I ask Honorable Francis Mutuku to second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Mutuku.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion. And Mr. Speaker, of concern within that report is the procurement process, which we have indicated as a lot of lapses, Mr. Speaker. It's also very clear that Roads Department, the Roads and Infrastructure, the only absorption rate, which is below average, as 23, Mr. Speaker, is really worrying. And that's why you find that because of misinformation or lack of information from the public, we are getting it very rough. Because the members of the public do not know that sometimes when the procurement process gets late, some things cannot happen on the ground, Mr. Speaker. And right now, as we speak, if you go to most of the wards, Mr. Speaker, you find that the roads are in a pathetic situation. The members of the public will always say the member of the County Assembly has eaten their money in courts, Mr. Speaker. So what we need, Mr. Speaker, from the department is to tell them that they must actually do their work and do it thoroughly to enable us to oversight their work, Mr. Speaker. That is our work, oversighting. We are not part of the implementing team, Mr. Speaker. So it is very imperative to know that, Mr. Speaker, we are always on the receiving end, because the members of the public think we do everything. We are capable of doing everything. And actually they elect us to do everything, which is not the case, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, I would request the members to support the motion. It's a very good motion. And give it a thumbs up. Thank you.
Honorable members, I propose the question for debate that this assembly adopt the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the Makueni County fiscal financial year of the 2024-2025 budget implementation report, the report which was laid on the table of the assembly on 19th of November year 2025. The floor is open for debate. Member for Nzamani Vingonward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would wish from the onset to say that I do support this report. It's a well-researched report, Mr. Speaker, and the figures have been outlaid very well. Anyone going through this report will understand where this count is. Mr. Speaker, I would wish to swing and probably draw the attention of this House to page number 7. Mr. Speaker, in earlier years, we used to tell the public that we've not been able to do projects because the national government has delayed in providing the monies that they're supposed to remit. But Mr. Speaker, on that financial year, it is quite notable to note that the equitable share from the national government was provided 100%. That was 8,497,308,272, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, when you look properly, you realize that the conditional allocation, that is from other loans and grants, which had promised to give us 600,007,277,601, provided only 182. And therefore, there was a gap of around 425,192,571. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, our own source revenue from the normal streams, we were expected to raise 905,177,623. However, Mr. Speaker, we collected 392,960,534, and that is only 40%. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as we look at where the heat is, or else where the rain is beating this county, it is on that own source revenue, because cumulatively plus that conditional grant, or whatever, it gives a total of over 800 million worthy of projects which could not have been done because the money is not available. Mr. Speaker, secondly, Mr. Speaker, is on the pending bills. I would wish to congratulate this current government led by Mutula Kilonzo Jr., which in the previous year, they brought a pending bill of 611,838,31. And we managed to pay off 611,951,198, Mr. Speaker, leaving only 59 million unpaid as we crossed to the other year, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would wish to also add something on what Honorable Francis Mutuku has said. The Department of Roads, if we are not careful, Mr. Speaker, we will always be pumping money to that department. The money is not being spent. A whole year, 23%, Mr. Speaker, is a shame. While we have roads which are not graded, while we have roadworks like culverts which are not fitted, every other rain season, Mr. Speaker, you will find places that are cut off by rains. Yet from 2013, when devolution started, we've never had a tarmac road. And therefore, every other single money that is pumped to this department, Mr. Speaker, goes to grading, goes to road works, and yet every other year those roads are not in good condition. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, it begs on the personnel are manning that department. That, I mean, we should be in a position where we are saying, we've done all roads, we've done all road works, our roads are okay, whether there is rain, whether there is no XYZ, in a position to score less than 23% this financial year. Going through the procurement process that Nimeona, it's very slow, and I think, Mr. Speaker, when you look at the finding number 1, it talks about there has been delayed in procurement and completion of projects occasioned by the following, Mr. Speaker. That area, if it is not well checked, it is going to plunge this county into a very unforeseen circumstances that cannot be explained to the public. Thank you.
Member for Lima Ward.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I support this motion, but with amendment. Mr. Speaker, first I thank the committee for bringing out very strong issues which are affecting the count of Makueni at large. The foundation of the growth of this count it is actually infrastructure. And they have brought it out very clearly that our roads department is somehow at a slip. But I would wish we change the recommendation where they are saying we employ other people or other engineers and first make the ones who are there effective. Mr. Speaker, I will talk from experience. I represent the people of Elima Ward, and I usually visit the projects at Elima Ward. Many other times, projects will run up to almost completion when the engineers have never visited these particular projects. And what you find there, they even sometimes send people to sign for them. So, Mr. Speaker, if we are not able to make the ones who are there effective, why would we add more people when already the wage bill is almost adding to 50% or even above 50%? I would say, let us actually first make the ones who are there effective. This department has never experienced any vacuum. The department has been experiencing full potential, but we are having sleeping people within this department. If you are given money to execute, what makes you not to be able to use that money for the benefit of the Makueni people? Then when we are almost closing the year, it's when they are running up and down, trying to complete projects in a hurry so that the money does not go back to the exchequer. Mr. Speaker, we need to see work and we need to amend this so that the ones who are there, we can get a recommendation which pushes them to work. The second point which I would wish to raise, the chair talked to us very strongly about the issue of an officer paying a project to fullness when already the PMC has refused. The recommendation he gave was that stern action needs to be taken about this person. Surely we need to define what is his stern action, because the word stern action seems to be so calm and so cool. We need to see people suspended because that is against the PFM Act. It is already a felony. It's actually against the law. But now when we say stern action, then to me, I would wish to see a more disciplinary action given towards that particular level, because this report will go into the shelves and that person being said to be given reprimandship, they will never be actually followed by anybody, and they'll continue doing the same thing, breaking the law and moving on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I support this motion, but with those two amendments. Thank you.
Member for Bunge, you have requested? Fair enough. Member from between.
Honorable Speaker, I want to support the motion, Honorable Speaker. And in particular, Honorable Speaker, I want to be very keen on the engineers and the Department of Transport. Honorable Speaker, this county, we are in a mess. Honorable Speaker, yesterday I visited the Waziri on his office, and a road in my ward that the people of Bitin are expecting the road should be starting, grading and marraming. It has not been procured up to today, 21st of April. Honorable Speaker, from other sources, I came to learn that we don't have engineers, the so-called engineers by Bishop, in this county. Honorable Speaker, for an engineer to be in good standings.
Are you saying that Makueni County doesn't have a qualified engineer?
Yes, they are not registered by EBK, the Engineers Board of Kenya, Honorable Speaker. I got it from other sources. And Honorable Speaker, we need to be serious with these issues. Not only even the engineers, also the accountants.
You are making a serious allegation.
Honorable Speaker, as the oversighting body, needs to go deeper and know the engineers if they have been registered and they are in good standing in the Engineers Board of Kenya, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, these engineers are here just to make and mess this count, Honorable Speaker. You find out that some of these engineers are just, they make that aspect of engineers supervision. Do they do the supervision, Honorable Speaker? No. Honorable Speaker, if we continue like this, a situation as a county, so Honorable Speaker, it's the high time the Committee on Transport and also the accountants, Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Public Accounts Committee, when they were doing the interrogations, that is the last interrogations, they refused to look into reports that have been signed by accountants who don't have ISPAC number. And also, when we are checking in the portal, the online portal, we found some of the accountants who have signed those documents, they are not in good standing. So, Honorable Speaker, as our facilitating body, what are we doing to this mess? I support the report, but we need to go further and investigate. If an engineer has to raise a certificate and sign a certificate, he must be in good standing with EBK, Engineers Board of Kenya. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Other point of order, Honorable Leader of Majority. Member from between, address your microphone. Seems the system is booting. Where's the answer recorder? Sergeant Clark, I said we should have one on standby. This is, I think, the 6th time I'm reminding. Now, how do we continue blaming the engineers? If we are asking answered recorder to be on standby, and we are the engineers here. Yes, Robert, I've asked for answered recorder to be on standby throughout. Why are you keeping them in boxes? They are only available for field activities. The system is booting. But he answered recorder. Where is it? Leader of Majority. Hapo mbele.
Is who seems not to understand his docket, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Bernard Tivo is the chair of a committee called Devolution, Public Service, Special Programs, and I want specifically to drill on the public service, Honorable Speaker. So when the chair is on his feet telling us that we have problems with engineers, that they should be registered, that he once found documents which were signed by people who had no certification for CPAC and things like that, Honorable Speaker. I think the chair is not in order. He should bring that report to this assembly as the chair of specifically public service. And by a motion of the committee, they should have raised the concerns with the department to know why we don't have engineers and why probably we don't have registered engineers. And for their information, if a diploma holder can also be registered, higher national diploma holder can also be registered. And most of the guys who work in water and the public works and roads have graduated with engineering degrees. But why are they not registered? So the chair should tell us, why are they not registered? He should not be the one asking questions. He should be the one responding to those questions. Thank you.
Move off the motion. I will give you the right to respond.
Thank you, Honorable
It has
Speaker.
nothing to do with the motion.
I just want to say something on the registration of engineers and everything. Honorable Speaker, you can be qualified to be an engineer, you can be qualified to be an accountant, but there is a body which looks to your integrity, which takes you for a training and all that, Honorable Speaker, so that you can be in good standing. And if you cannot uphold integrity, even the same body will strike you off from the registration, and then you are no longer an accountant or an engineer at the end of the day, Honorable Speaker. So I think it's good also to see whether we have engineers, whether we have accountants in Makueni, so that at the end of the day, we may not have some gaps. That we have seen PMC and ward administrator, they have said this person or this contractor should not be paid, and they end up paying. So whoever paid, there is an integrity issue. The engineer had an integrity issue. It's not about the qualification. Yes, you can be a qualified accountant, you can be a qualified, you have graduated with the engineering in the University of Nairobi and all that, but the integrity aspect matters a lot, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I request honorable members to support this motion with a big yes. We have done our part as Budget and Appropriation Committee on checking on the implementation of the programs and the projects we have budgeted as account Assembly of Makueni. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the Assembly of the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the Makueni County financial year 2024-2025. Budget implementation report laid on table Assembly on 19th of November year 2025. Will as many as of the opinion say aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I direct that this report be conveyed to the County Executive Committee member for Finance and all County Executive Committee members, the County Secretary, and to the Governor. Member from Bitini is the chairperson for committee responsible for devolution, and registration of officers with the professional bodies and regulating bodies in this county. An issue has been put before you by the leader of the majority. What do you have to say? So, in fact, as the chairperson, Committee on Devolution, member from Bitini raised an important issue, that in this county there are no engineers. You remember the member from Bitini was contributing earlier on. Yes, he addressed that matter to the chair Committee on Devolution. So, chair for devolution, can you answer member from Bitini and leader of majority on what action you are taking?
Honorable Speaker, as the chair now for devolution, I think I'm not out of order because I was contributing as member from Bitini.
Which I've agreed. I'm asking you now, as a chair, what is your answer to the issues raised by member from Bitini and member for Kadungo Kitundu? What is your response?
Honorable Speaker, you know, for us to proceed, we need to request for those documents, and I want to accept that. For example, if you are a nurse and you are not a member of the Nursing Council of Kenya, and you are treating someone and you make a mistake, that body cannot punish you because it cannot regulate you. So what about our engineers if they are not in that board, or our accountants, and an engineer makes a mistake in raising a certificate to pay a contractor of a work that is done, who will punish that engineer? So, as the chair, will be requesting to be provided with that information, not only for engineers, but all professional bodies, so that you can know who are either you are a doctor, your license has expired, either you are accountant, you are not in good standings, either you are an engineer, you are not registered in the Engineers Board of Kenya, and any other professional body, so that we can know if you are working for this county and you are not willing to register for that body, who will regulate you. Then from there we'll make recommendations, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. How much time do you require to submit that information to this House?
Honorable Speaker, that is a matter of writing a letter requesting, and you are being supplied with information. I want to request for 14 days. Thank you.
14 days?
Yes.
I'll grant you 21 days. Don't be overambitious. Because the reason being, you need data and information for all professional officers who offer professional services. Nurses, clinical officers, lab techs, engineers, name them, accountants, auditors, quantity surveyors, fiscal planners, and you recall the chairperson for board yesterday indicated to you that when they advertised for a position of a county fiscal planner, chief fiscal planner, I think, or director, there's only one applicant who met the qualifications because they had requested for a registration certificate number as a registered planner in the Republic of Kenya. So for members who are complaining that you have employees from your wards not employed, none was able to apply for that position. But in your ward, you have made physical planners, hundreds of them, but they could not qualify. So the chair for the board indicated that the position has been re-advertised so that it can be competitive. So if they were not able to get one, or they got one from Makueni, chances are that others from outside Makueni, they will apply for that position if they have the registration certificate from the regulating board. And therefore that position, instead of going to Mtituandei, or Kakuweya, or Kithungo Kitundu, it may end up going to another county, like Busia, because we don't have the capacity. So, chairperson, I'm giving you 21 days to request for the information from the County Public Service Board to cause the respective department to supply that information. What I know is that you can't be employed in the county government of Makueni and everywhere in public sector as a nurse or a clinical officer if you do not have a registration certificate from the regulating body, which is the clinical body and the Nursing Council of Kenya. That I know. What about the other professions? That is very important. 21 days. We'll be waiting for you. Clerk, take note and remind me on the 20th day from today. Honorable members, we are 5 p.m. What is it, member from Zabani Vigon?
Mr. Speaker, a quick one, not related to the motion per se, but Mr. Speaker, there is a project that has been quoted, alleged that it was paid 100% without approval of the PMC and the ward administrators sanctioning. Mr. Speaker, as an oversight body, I thought you would give us directive as a house to zero in on that project so that it can serve as a lesson to others. Number two, Mr. Speaker, is on the appraisal forms, Mr. Speaker. I would wish to, if from your end, Mr. Speaker, I know when we were vetting the chief of SARS and ECMs, they were to be subjected to quarterly appraisals and even annual appraisals. How did the ECM for transport qualify? And do those appraisals reach to their, so that we can also know how we can allocate these resources going forward? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I think on the appraisals, I need to acquaint myself with further details. For the executive committee members, for CEOs or ECMs, the CEOs, who oversights the CEOs? And who they are answerable to the CEOs. So, member for Zabani Vigoni, you want to raise a statement or you want directions? Count executive committee members because they are praised by the appointing authority, and if the appointing authority feels that a member is performing below his expectations because they are directors, how they are picked, it is the wish of the governor, notwithstanding the facilitative interview. But for the chief officers who are sourced competitively, I agree with you that the appraisal reports should be submitted to the County Assembly. Yes?
When it comes to performance of the whole government, and I'm speaking this being part of the government. So having now seen a loophole from this report which was presented, I don't think whether there is any harm from where you sit if you issue a directive that we may narrow ourselves to the performance of this poorly doing department, which is the Department of Transport. Because at the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, if you go out there, we are all being accused of having gone into the bedroom with the governor. We are all being accused of sleeping. You yourself are being accused of leading a team which does not know where it is going and where it is heading to. And this is a political environment. We have a leeway from this particular report that we may now hold the bull by the horns and make sure that this department performs at our cost. So to me, like, especially like what has been now mentioned, somebody raises and pays money when the PMC has said not to pay. That's a person of somebody who has vested interest. How many other more projects are happening like that? How many other payments which are being done without paperwork, without a proper process of payment? It should raise icons to us as an oversighting body that things are happening under the cover, and many of them will affect us when the time comes. So I think you can help us as a body now.
I hear you.
Yes.
Allow me to review and converse with my documents, my mind on the procedure of requesting performance appraisals for the county executive committee members, because it can only be submitted by His Excellency the Governor. It cannot be submitted by the CS because the CS is a subject and a candidate for that appraisal. Neither the Public Service Board, because the executive committee members are not answerable and have no contracts with the Public Service Board. However, for the chief officers, they are employee of the public service. They are appointed by governor by way of gazettement, but they have signed a contract, the performance appraisal, with the County Public Service Board, which has been approved by this house. and vetted by this House for purposes of reporting on matters related to public service. In this case, then their chairperson, devolution in public service, members have requested for the submission of the reports on performance appraisal, on the performance management of the chief officers and the chief executive officers of semi-autonomous county government agencies. In the circumstances, I'm persuaded the request by member for Nzabani and the member for Ilima are quite in order for purposes of execution or oversight of this county government on implementation of government programs. And therefore, in line with the timelines that I had given earlier on, together with the information on the regulation of officers, submit the appraisals for the chief officers and chief executive officers and the managing directors of semi-autonomous county government organizations within 21 days. Is that in order? I want you to go on record so that we can pick the answered if you start seeking for more days.
Yeah, 21 days is quite in order, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, thank you. We are out of time. Anything that you say out of this is for information, but not for record. Well, I will not deny your opportunity because people have not shown up in this chamber, so they have nothing to say. You are here, you are overstaying, and you have something to say. So I can't deny you an opportunity, so just speak up. To congratulate you for coming and being active, yes?
Yeah. You see, it reaches a point whereby you are able to say, whoever wants to go home can go home, because we are here specifically to benefit our people.
Yes.
And I will not shy away.
Very well.
To speak what I want to speak.
But say it.
Given that, Mr. Speaker,
only Honorable Fiametta.
no problem.
Want to go and
no,
why.
It's okay. She has beautiful girls up there. She needs to take them home.
The situation is changing from a member to mother
yes.
now.
Mr. Speaker, my concern is this, and I would wish even to switch to the microphone.
Order, honorable member, order. Honorable members. Don't attack those who came for the gathering. Those who did not come for the gathering, they are at home. So blame Bishop not for contributing too much. He was contributing for others, and especially from his party. Okay? And Ilima. Honorable members, times being 17:00 hours, Assembly stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 22nd of April, year 2026 at 14:30 hours.